You have your water test, you've tested your water, you've done a physical inspection of your well, and you know what your well water's flow rate is. The next step is trying to figure out what type of treatment system you need. In today's video, I'm going to give you some simple steps on how you can narrow it down and get help in figuring out what will work to improve my water quality. Hi, my name is Jerry Bulfin, Master Water Specialist, and I'm here to help you improve your water quality. Welcome back to our channel. So, what kind of treatment? There are many different kinds of systems available, obviously. Some folks have staining problems, corrosion. Other times your water's great. Maybe the water's just a little hard, or maybe you're seeing some odor in the water, or possibly you're concerned about chemical contamination, PFAS, arsenic, heavy metals. That would be a result of a lab test, a comprehensive test that actually showed you what it was. Or maybe you're in an area where you think you might be affected by, say, industry, gas stations, or maybe petroleum industry activity. So you're concerned, and that's something you would want to be on top of and have your water tested regularly. But basically, once you figure out what the contaminant you're dealing with, then you can narrow it down to what type of treatment system. One thing to know is that the pH of your water is very important. We always test for pH because the pH can affect many things. For instance, that will tell you how acidic or alkaline your water is. 7 is neutral, so if you have somewhere between 7 and 8, then you're good. But if you have slightly acidic water, then that could mean you might be seeing corrosion, or maybe your fixtures, appliances, or piping could wear out quicker because you're going to have corrosion. Or if you decide one type of treatment, it might not work with the pH of your water. So, for instance, a lot of folks want to get a water softener because the water, they want to improve the hardness. But if your water is also a little acidic, then you might not want to totally soften all your water, which could make your water even more aggressive. Or, for instance, say you have iron or manganese, then those systems are heavily dependent on the pH being generally neutral between 7 and 8. If you have pH too high or too low, they're not going to work well. So that's the first step. If your water TDS is over, say, 1200 to 1500, at that point, you probably will be looking at whole house reverse osmosis, because at some point the water is too salty or it's just too miserable to even shower in. But generally, folks can get by with up to, say, 1000 to 1200, and they'll see stains. Even if the water is soft, they're going to see white stains, but it's something they can live with. A lot of folks need more than one system. So, for instance, say they have arsenic and they have iron. And that's what I go over in my book, The Definitive Guide to Well Water Treatment. We have various diagrams showing the multiple systems that sometimes folks will get to make their water really great. So if you have, for instance, a very popular combination, folks will have see stains from iron or manganese, and then they also have hard water. Well, instead of just getting a water softener, which can get ruined by the iron and manganese over time, they'll have an iron filter first and then a water softener. So now they have the best of both worlds. They have no stains and they have clean, soft water on top of it. And then there is, in terms of bacteria and disinfection, a lot of folks will use a chlorinator to inject chlorine in the water and then filter it out before it goes in the house. Chlorine or hydrogen peroxide can, when injected in the water, completely remove the sulfur odor, and then combine that with a catalytic carbon filter, then you get no odor in the house, very clean water, and no chlorine or peroxide residual. So a lot of times folks will combine those two. They'll have a chlorinator or a peroxide injection system with a carbon system, and then that will give them great clean water. And there are many other types of systems, which I go over in the book, to deal with disinfection, such as ultraviolet sterilizers, and actually nano ceramic filters that'll physically remove bacteria in the water, and ozone gas is another way. So I also put a chart, a simple guide a link in this video. Just click on the guide and you'll see a table chart that makes it kind of easy based on your water chemistry and what sort of symptoms you're seeing, whether you have odor, staining, hardness, or other water problems. It gives you like a little cheat sheet and you can kind of narrow it down and see what generally types of system you need. I also wrote a book on well water, called The Definitive Guide to Well Water Treatment. And in this book, it goes over some very concrete steps on how you can figure out exactly what's going on with your well. It's full of diagrams, charts, and how-to guides, and it kind of narrows down of what type of system you might need based on your needs and what your application is. So to recap, you first start out with a good water test, whether it's through a lab or your own do-it-yourself test at home. And then you do a physical inspection of your well to see what's going on, where the system would go, what your cold water looks like in your toilet flush tank, how your pressure tank is. And then you do a flow test, which takes minutes to do, and you find out how many gallons per minute your well pump can produce. And based on your water test and what you're trying to do, you select a system that will do what you need it to do and won't restrict your water pressure. And preferably it's automatic, where it's not something you have to maintain on a weekly or monthly basis. It's something, when you're looking at a water treatment system, you want to get something that ideally you'd service yearly or maybe every few months, but not something weekly or monthly. So now you know how to choose the right system for your well. The next step is to install and maintain it. This can easily be done yourself or by anyone familiar with the most basic plumbing. And in the next video, I'm going to go over the right way to install and maintain your system. So just click the link on the screen and I'll see you there.